Are you getting ready to go away for college? Well, this episode of College on Fleek is going to help you be prepared to go away to college. Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level and the creator of One-Derful Life and College on Fleek. What is College on Fleek? Well, we're here to put some tools in your toolbox so that you can crush it in college. Today, we're going to help get you ready to go off to school. But before we do that, let's take a motivation minute. One thing that will help you stay motivated is what I like to think about as a different type of FOMO. You know FOMO as fear of missing out, but I like to think of FOMO as focus and motivation. So the best way for you to maintain motivation is to set a goal. And one thing that I encourage my students to do, and one thing I actually do for myself, is I will set goals each semester. Now, current research shows that the optimal window for goal setting is really 90 days, that your brain past 90 days can feel a little bit overwhelmed, and that's perfect if you're on a semester system or even a quarter system at your school, because your semester is probably 3 to 5 months, and that can be, obviously that's a little bit longer than 90 days, but setting a goal for a specific semester. Now, your goal shouldn't just be to pass my classes, because what does that mean? You're going to be okay if you get all D's? And if that really is your goal, to get all D's, then okay, then stick with it. But maybe your goal is something more along the lines of to get a 3.5 or higher GPA this semester, or to join one student organization, or make 3 new friends. But setting a goal for yourself and making it something that you can measure, that's attainable for you, and that at the end of the semester you can look at it and say, did I make it or not? That will be something that will help you stay motivated. So I want to challenge you to put your goal for the upcoming semester, write that in the comments, and let's help each other stay accountable, because that's a great way to stay motivated, is when you know other people are checking on you. So I'd love for you in the comments to put, what is your goal for the upcoming semester? Every week I like to give you a study hack or a success hack. So this week I have a success hack for you, and actually it is also a study hack, and that is to get organized. Get your S2G. Get your shizzle together. S2G. Now, by the way, you can go to getyoursToG.com, and I have some hacks on there that I'll email you that'll help you get it together. But either way, you need to get organized, because you're going to lose so much time. And listen, this isn't just college students, everybody. Professionals, ask your parents, your friends. How much time do we lose when we can't find something? It can be something as simple as your keys. It can be that homework assignment you know you did and you can't find it. You can't find your notebook. You can't find your textbook. You can't find a bill that you think you paid, or something you need to pay. Or you can't find the handout that your teacher gave you. I've seen teachers who can't find a homework assignment that a student turned in. And I'm going to tell you what, that is scary right there. How would you like that? You spent all your time and you put everything you had into this assignment, and your professor lost it before they even graded it. So you want to be organized, and whatever that needs to be for you. Some people like file folders. Some people like a 3-ring binder, like a binder for each class that they're in. Some people just like one binder and then they put a tab for every class. Whatever's going to work for you. But being organized and keeping your stuff organized is one of the best ways for you to be successful. Now, I mentioned study hacks. By the way, being organized is a great study hack because every minute you burn up trying to find something, that's another minute you're not studying. But if you go to collegeonfleek.com, you can get my Study Smart Toolkit. Now, that's the 3-step system that I created for myself when I was in school because I had terrible test anxiety. And I've taught this system to thousands of students over my 19 years of teaching, and it works. And I've seen my very own students go from getting F's on exams to A's. And I don't mean over the course of a semester, I mean very next test. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee that you're going to get an A, but if you do what I teach you in that Study Smart Toolkit, your grade will improve. So go to collegeonfleek.com, get that for yourself. You just tell me where to email it and I'm going to send it right to you. It's a video tutorial. It's a one-on-one me teaching you how to study. So hook yourself up and go get your Study Smart Toolkit. In this episode of College on Fleek, we're going to talk about some things that you need to do to prepare yourself to go away to college. Now, this is going to be part 1. So next week, we'll look at some more ideas. But this week, I just want to give you 3 things that you need to know. And the first one is you're probably going to be homesick. Most people are. That is normal. And it could be whether you're just going across town and you're staying in the dorm, or you're going across the state, or you're moving across the country. It's very likely and normal that you're going to be homesick. And most people are homesick, but they don't talk about it. One year, one of my freshmen in an assignment that I gave, I think I wrote something about tell me a challenge that you're dealing with right now in school. And this kid was an athlete and already pretty popular, and just, good looking kid, had his team, had his roommate. I mean, he seemed like he was pretty cool. He's one of those guys that he just seemed like nothing bothered him. And in the assignment, he wrote about how terribly homesick he was and that he just really missed his mom and he missed being at home and he felt out of place and it was hard for him. One of the things at the Citadel, which is a military college, one of the things that the Citadel tells parents is freshmen, that first semester, they tell the parents, listen, your child is going to call you crying and begging you to come get them. Don't do it. Tell them they've got to stay for a year and do not come get them. Do not come visit them, the first semester, whatever their guideline is. But they prepare the parents. Your child is going to call you and beg you to come get them. Don't do it, because everybody goes through that. And so I just go ahead and prepare yourself. And listen, you may be thinking, I won't be homesick. My parents drive me crazy. I'm just telling you, once you get away, you may be surprised that you're homesick, and it's okay. It is not a sign that you've made a mistake. Okay, a lot of times students take that to the next level and they say, uh-oh, this is a sign from God that I should not have left. No, it just means you're in a new environment and it's scary anytime we do anything new. Listen, every job I've ever had that I wanted, when I would be in my new job, I would frequently think, I have made a mistake. I really miss my old job, because it was familiar. So anytime you do something new, you're going to feel some kind of way about it, and you're probably going to be homesick, and it's okay. What I encourage you to do is make a commitment that you will stay at that school just for your freshman year. Now, obviously, if something happens that you are miserable and you just cannot get it together and make it work, then okay, maybe that's something different. But do yourself a favor, give it one academic year, give it 2 semesters. And if you are miserable and you can't stand it, then leave. But homesickness is normal. Number 2, everybody is lonely. And again, nobody talks about it. This is one of the things that I hear a lot from my freshmen. And in fact, again, I've given entire freshman classes an assignment that'll tell me what you're struggling with. And like 95% of the people in the class will say, I'm lonely and I don't have anybody to do stuff with, so I just sit in my room by myself. And here I am up at the front of the room, and I'm looking at all these kids, and I'm like, y'all could all be friends with each other. And y'all could all have somebody to go do stuff with. But because nobody will say anything, nobody will make the first move, because nobody wants to look weak. And I understand that. I mean, you don't want to walk around and tell people, I'm lonely, would you be my friend? Because they probably wouldn't be, because that's a little creepy. But everybody's feeling lonely and nobody's saying anything, and then you're hiding in your room by yourself, and then you're never going to meet anybody. I want you to remember that you are not the only person on your campus who is feeling lonely. Most people are, but they're not going to say anything about it. So now this is where you might have to take some initiative. And first of all, you can look friendly and approachable. And you can initiate things. So when you're in line with someone at the cafeteria, you might say, hey, have you ever had the spaghetti here? Is it any good? Or, oh man, I love these cookies. They're my favorite. Or maybe you sit next to someone in your class and you can even ask, hey, did you take notes last time? Could I look at what you wrote down for this? Strike up conversations with people. If you see a friendly person or 2 or 3 at a table at the cafe, then ask them if you can join, and then start a conversation and ask them, hey, what are you majoring in? Or how long have you been going here? Where are you from? Many times we don't do that because we think, well, they'll think I'm a loser. Well, you know what? If you're being nice to someone and they think you're a loser, then they're a loser. Because most people today, if someone's just nice to you right off the bat, I mean, how nice that is. A lot of times people will be nasty to you for no reason. So, you're never gonna meet people and be friends with people just sitting in your room or looking unapproachable. One of my favorite students last semester, I just loved her so much. She was so sweet. And I would ask her, well, what kind of stuff do you do? And she would say, well, I don't really do a whole lot. I just kind of don't really have anybody to do stuff with. So I just kind of, sit in my room and do my homework. And that just made me really sad because she was so caring and sweet and had such a good heart, just a good, genuine person. And I thought, people are really missing out on a good friend in her because she wasn't sure how to get out there. So are you going to face some rejection if you do that? Yeah. But, Wayne Gretzky said you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You probably have no idea who Wayne Gretzky is. He's a world famous hockey player. But if you don't take the shot, you definitely won't make the shot. So you do have to put yourself out there a little bit. And are some people gonna reject you? Yeah. But what if they don't? Third piece of advice I have for you is don't go home every weekend. Okay, now that's gonna be hard if you're homesick and you're lonely. And now I'm gonna tell you don't go home every weekend. Now, if you go to a school, like a large school with a big athletic program, you might not go home every weekend because you'll stay at school, because you'll go to the football game or whatnot. I teach at Francis Marion University. We're a small liberal arts college, and we don't have a football program. And many times our students will leave and go home on the weekend. And these, a lot of times, are the same students who come to see me about they're lonely and they don't have any friends. I'm like, well, yeah, how are you going to make any friends? You're not here. So if you live on campus, don't pick up and go home every weekend. Now, I've had students who tell me, but my mom wants me to come home, because it might be really the case that your mom is homesick for you, or your dad. Your family is wanting you to come home every weekend. And that can be, that can be some pressure. Sometimes you feel like, well, gosh, my mom's crying and she wants me to come home because she misses me. And I understand that. But you're in college, and this is your time to learn how to be an adult. And that means setting boundaries. And so you may have to have a conversation with your family, which is to say, you know what? I'll come home one weekend out of the month. But otherwise, I need to stay on campus. I need to get involved. I need to make friends. I need to do my homework. And so I'm not going to come home every weekend. And set that boundary for yourself so that you will start to feel a part of something. I had a student one year that she just felt like she really didn't fit in at our university at Francis Marion, and she was so unhappy, and she said, I'm going to transfer to another school. And once she made that decision, of course, she was really mentally checked out, because she kind of felt like, why should I bother plugging into Francis Marion when I won't be here next semester? And so sure enough, that next semester she left and she went to this bigger school that she had always wanted to go to. And she emailed me and she said, I am miserable. I hate it here. I'm homesick. It's so big. And she was in the same situation where she never really plugged in. When she was at Francis Marion, all she could dream of was getting away and going to this big school. So she didn't get involved. And then she went away to the big school and she was homesick, so she didn't get involved. She kept coming back home. But the common denominator was she wouldn't get involved where she was. And it's going to be hard, okay? These things I'm suggesting to you aren't easy. You're not going to wake up and go, oh, I feel lonely. I think I'll go talk to people today. It's going to be tough. In fact, let me show you how it's going to be difficult. Go ahead and cross your arms. Go ahead and just do it. You're just do it. Fold your arms how you normally would. Okay, now, reverse them. Okay, sometimes you have to look and say, okay, wait a minute. Okay, put them the other way. Okay, how does that feel? Most people say it feels weird. Yeah, it feels weird. Why? Because you don't normally do this. Now, if every time you went to cross your arms, if you just did it like this, eventually that would feel normal to you. But I'm suggesting that you're going to do things that you don't normally do. They're going to feel weird. They're going to feel uncomfortable. But if you're willing to try them, then you're going to be helping yourself feel more at home and more connected when you go off to college. And when you're feeling that, like, more connected and more secure and more confident, then you are going to have more friends and you are going to do better in school and you are going to have more opportunities that come your way. So give these things a try. Now, College on Fleek is here for you. We're a tribe, and we have people who are freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, graduate students. We've got members who are alumni. And this is not a monologue, okay? This is a dialogue. This is a place for you to communicate with me. Tell me what you're struggling with. Tell me what do you need to hear more about. Ask questions. Share your answers. In college, now in my class, if I see you sharing answers with somebody, you're going to be in trouble. But here at College on Fleek, this is a place for you to share your answers. And let's get I want to learn from you too, what works for you. So put your comments and your questions down in the box below, and let's hear some more from you. And remember, You can always find more at collegeonfleek.com. We've got lots of great free resources for you there. So go check out collegeonfleek.com. And next week, we're going to talk about part 2 of what do you need to do to get ready to go off to college.